Okay, so this is a video, if you could see this, on the McKlein rolling bags. So now, if you see these cases, if you have one of these bags, you know that the cases always break. You know, I'm on my third case now, and I'm gentle. I'm gentle with it. I don't know why they keep breaking. See that? And they break back here too. That side, and on that side you can see that. So I'm on my third case. The company's been really good about it. They gave me my first one free of charge. My second one, they sent me and I had to pay for shipping. And I am currently on my third one now, which same deal, they sent it to me. I just had to pay for shipping. Now, if you have these bags, that's not the only Achilles heel. The other Achilles heel are these wheels. And it's not the wheels themselves. The wheels are okay. The wheels are sticky though, and they pick up a lot of hair and stuff on the ground. I rollerblade, so I've got other bearings and wheels. And you can see this big, gigantic rollerblading wheel. I'm not going to put that on the bag. But you can see that the centers are similar. So I wanted to figure out a way to put these wheels on the cart so that they on the bag cart, so that the wheels didn't collect as much dirt and hair and then stop rolling and making embarrassing squeaking noises and everything when I'm rolling this thing around school or the courthouse or wherever. So if you're unfamiliar with this process and you got a squeaky wheel, the first thing you want to do is just take a screwdriver and unscrew this screw. The screw comes out, it looks like this. There's a nut on the other side there, but it's held in by the plastic. You don't even need any other tools, just a screwdriver. Take out that screw, the wheel comes out, and you'll see all the disgusting hair and everything inside. It's horrible. It's so bad that the stock bearings that it comes with, like this one, get so clogged up that the bearings are garbage. And it happens very, very quickly. So one of the solutions I had was to take rollerblading bearings, like these. These are ABEC 9s, but they're used. I don't even, they still roll good, but I won't rollerblade them anymore. And the bearings that are actually in this old McKlein wheel are ABEC 7s. Now, if you can see how dented that dust seal is, but the wheel still spins. It's amazing. So the reason why I'm telling you this is the hair clogs up so much on these bearings, and it rolls up on these wheels, and it pushes in on the seal, and that's why these bearings go bad. It forces all kinds of dirt and hair in there, and they're unfixable after that. You can't rebuild them. But these bearings have now been on the wheel through two other carts, and two other carts, and now I'm on my third, and I did not even want to roll one day on these brand new wheels with the bearings that it came with, because they're so frustrating. So here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna take, survive a phone drop. I'm gonna take two used ABEC 9 bearings for rollerblading, and I'm going to take this spacer. Now this is a regular K2 rollerblading wheel spacer. I mean, I don't even know what they cost. They're probably like a couple of dollars. I have old skates that I pulled them off of. So now, the old setup from McKlein is this bearing facing to the inside of the wheel, like that. And then they take a washer, which is on the bearing here. So it's like this. And then they put this black spacer in the center. And then do the same thing on the other side. Washer, and then bearing, like that. The purpose is so that the bearings are spaced properly on the wheel, and it doesn't slide back and forth on the axle, and it rolls smooth. So I need to mimic this setup somehow. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my spacer and just slide it into the ABEC 9 bearing, just like that. I'm going to take this washer and I'm just gonna drop it over that bearing, just like that. I'm gonna take the wheel, and I'm just gonna push it down on top of the bearing, and you can see it goes right into the hole, right? So now the spacer came out, no big deal. Put the spacer back in there. And I'm going to make sure I put the 9s in there. I don't want to put 7s in there again. Yep, okay. You do not need this black thing anymore. So then you take a washer, and you just put the washer on there. And then you take your bearing, and you just push it in. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, it slides a little bit. The bearings do slide a little bit in there. But I'll tell you what, it is a million times better than the setup that it comes with. So that's all you got to do. And I put them in my old wheel, wouldn't you know it. So I'm going to need to push that out. And I guess this is a good way to show you how to push them out. This is not proper. I have a little bearing, handhold bearing tool that you can press these things out with. You don't really need it. As you can see, I just took a screwdriver and slid it on the inside of the spacer, and it comes out pretty easily. And I'm going to put it in the new wheel this time, because that's the wheel I want to use. I don't want to put an old wheel back in there. Now, if you end up pushing these out with this really unorthodox off-a way, don't press on the dust seal. This part. Don't press on that part. Press on only this tiny little inner part that spins. If you can see that, press here. Whoop, that'll focus. Press here. Do not press on this wide centerpiece right there. Don't press on that. So I'm going to take my bearing, push it out. So then I'm just going to take the washer, put it in, put the bearing in there. Now you're done. Kind of cumbersome because I'm doing it with one hand and holding my phone with the other, because I don't have a fancy phone holder like a lot of these other people making videos do. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Now, you don't need a fancy bearing. You don't need an ABEC 9. You don't need an ABEC 7. It just happens to be that I had an ABEC 7 before, so that's what I used. And for 2 years, it stood up to the abuse of hair and dirt. Still rolling smooth. Very smooth enough for an old bearing that was probably 600 miles of rollerblading on it first. So now these ABEC 9, same thing. They're used. They probably have close to 600 or probably way more than that of mileage of rollerblading on them. But they have a metal dust seal. So it doesn't matter what bearing you get. The classification of bearing has to do with the quality of the seal and how many balls are inside. This is an ABEC 7. It's got 7 balls inside. This ABEC 9. It's got 9 balls inside it. Okay? And the quality of the seal. How much water and dirt is it going to let in? Well, you guys aren't rollerblading with your bag for work. You want to bring it into the courthouse, so, or wherever you're bringing it. So you just need a bearing. It doesn't matter what it is or how many balls are inside it. You just want to make sure you get one with a metal dust seal around the outside of it. That is the most important thing. Metal dust seal. If you don't get a metal dust seal, and you use a rubber dust seal. So here's some other bearings I use for rollerblading. They're twin cams, ILQ 9s. I will not put these in my bag, not because they're expensive or I want to save them for rollerblading, but because this is not a metal dust seal. The bearings roll great, okay? They're not super awesome because I don't think these are real twin cams, because I bought them off of eBay from Hong Kong or something. They were like, I don't know, $8 for a set of 16 or something ridiculous, where in America they'll cost you like, I don't know, well over $100 for a set of these things. But they don't have a metal seal on them. It's kind of like a rubber, tiny little thin metal. It's not like these where you can like hammer them literally with a hammer, and and it's got a metal seal to withstand the abuse. So that's it. Get any bearing you can with a metal seal on it. See, that one's even got a dent in it. These are old ones. And then push it out. Push the bearings out of your wheel by hand. You know, this is what they're gonna look like. This is an arbor press. You could use one of these if you want to. This is a vise. You can use one of those if you want to. I don't recommend the vise because it's got these grippy teeth on it and it will chew everything up. But when you're done, you just take your wheel and put it back on. And I will say this. If you want to roll on a wheel for more than a year and have all kinds of hair and crap go in it, and then not have an embarrassing squeaky wheel until, I don't know, you're lazy and 6 months later you get to it. So then you're on the same wheel for a year and 6 months. Probably the wheel will still roll fine with these metal dust sealed bearings. And you can just clean out your wheels whenever you get around to it. So I know the video is a little cumbersome. So apologize for that, but hopefully it helps. Again, I had K2 wheel spacers in there from K2 rollerblades, and they were off K2 Fit 80s. I don't know if it makes a difference. They're probably all the same. And I just used old bearings. You just want ones with metal dust seals. All right. Good luck.